Ask most people how to keep their kidneys in good shape, and you'll hear nearly identical answers from 9 out of 10. Increase your water intake, minimize salt consumption, and they're not entirely wrong about those things. Those two pieces of advice matter, but they only scratch the surface of what your kidneys actually need. And what almost everyone overlooks is what transpires when your body transitions into sleep. Here's something your physician likely never had the opportunity to discuss. Your kidneys conduct their most critical recovery and maintenance work at night, specifically when blood pressure naturally decreases and the stress on your filtering structures diminishes. What you consume during that final stretch of the day either supports that restoration process or undermines it. After you reach 60, this becomes possibly more crucial than nearly everything else because kidney deterioration happens silently. A failing kidney produces no warning signs. By the time abnormalities appear in standard blood tests, there's a good chance you've already surrendered around 30% of your filtering power. Unlike your liver, kidney tissue doesn't regenerate. Whatever damage occurs is permanent. I've dedicated over a decade to helping individuals prevent this decline before it becomes irreversible. So today, I'm walking you through specific fruits that support your kidneys throughout the night while you're resting. Some are common, others will surprise you, and one of them is a fruit that people with kidney concerns have been instructed to avoid, though I'll explain the actual situation honestly. At the conclusion, I'll share a straightforward 2-minute bedtime recipe combining the safest of these into a single beverage. But first, I want to address anyone watching who feels they've already made irreversible mistakes. Listen carefully. Kidneys that have sustained genuine damage can still be stabilized. I've worked with patients in their 70s and 80s who've maintained steady kidney function for years simply by taking pressure off their filters and providing them with proper support. It's not too late. That's why I create these videos. I want you to remain strong and active far beyond the point where most people expect to decline. Everything I guide my patients through, the specific foods, the timing, the modest adjustments that shift lab values, I've developed into a comprehensive system already benefiting thousands of people over 60. It's called Stand Strong, the doctor's fall-proof method for life after 70. It's a complete guide that shows you how to protect your independence, strengthen your foundation, and prevent the decline most people accept as inevitable. The ebook covers structured routines and progressive exercises that go far deeper than what a single video can provide. It's specifically designed to help you maintain mobility, protect your balance, reduce fall risk, and stay independent for decades longer. You'll find the link in the pinned comment and in the video description whenever you're prepared. Thousands have already purchased it, and it gives you the entire system this video introduces. Now let's look at what's actually happening inside your kidneys, so everything else makes sense. Every kidney contains roughly 1 million microscopic filtering structures called nephrons. Within each nephron sits a small bundle of delicate blood vessels called a glomerulus. This bundle is the actual filter. It removes waste from your bloodstream while keeping beneficial substances. You're born with a complete set of nephrons, and your body never creates new ones. After 60, the game becomes protecting the filters you still possess. Two things damage filters more aggressively than anything else. First is pressure. Persistent elevated blood pressure batters those delicate vessels like a garden hose running at maximum pressure. Over time, that pounding causes permanent scarring that closes filters shut. Second is oxidative stress. Think of it as rust gradually forming inside your cells, like how a sliced pear browns when exposed to air. A kidney experiencing sustained pressure and high oxidative stress loses nephrons steadily every single year. Here's what rarely gets discussed. Your blood pressure isn't designed to stay consistent around the clock. In a functioning body, it naturally decreases between 10 and 20% during sleep. Scientists refer to this as nighttime dipping, and it represents the window when your kidneys recover. People whose pressure fails to dip at night experience faster kidney function decline. This is documented clinical evidence. So when you eat during that final hour before sleep, your goal is clear. Support the pressure reduction, counteract cellular rust, and prevent extra strain on your kidneys right when they're attempting recovery. Each fruit I'm about to describe earns inclusion by performing one of three functions during this overnight recovery period. It either provides antioxidants that combat cellular damage attacking your filters, contains plant substances that relax your blood vessels and facilitate the natural nighttime decrease in pressure, or works in your digestive system to lighten your kidneys' workload before it ever reaches the filters. Nearly all are low in sugar and gentle enough for nighttime consumption. There's one significant exception, and I'll be straightforward about it when we reach it. First, blueberries. This is the most straightforward recommendation on this entire list. The blue color comes from a compound called anthocyanin, which stands among the most powerful antioxidants identified in food. For your kidneys, the connection is direct. These pigments neutralize the cellular stress that scars those delicate filters. Scientific research consistently demonstrates that diets containing high amounts of these compounds lower inflammation and improve blood vessel function. Your kidneys are fundamentally an organ constructed from blood vessels. Protect the vessels, and you protect the filters. Blueberries fit the evening slot because they're minimal in both potassium and sodium, making them safe even for strained kidneys. Keep that word potassium in mind, it'll become significant later. A quarter-cup portion before sleep is appropriate. Whether frozen or fresh, they both work, and frozen berries often have greater pigment concentration since they're harvested at peak ripeness. Second, cranberries. Most people misunderstand these. Their reputation for preventing urinary tract infections is accurate, but the kidney benefit goes further. Cranberries contain a substance called A-type proanthocyanidin that literally stops bacteria from sticking to urinary tract tissue. That's not myth, that's the actual mechanism. It matters for your kidneys because infections traveling upward cause real damage to healthy kidney structures. Each infection you avoid downstream lessens strain upstream. Disregard anything marketed as cranberry cocktail. That's essentially sugar solution. A small amount of unsweetened dried cranberries or a splash of pure unsweetened cranberry juice thinned with water is what you want. A little quantity performs substantial work overnight. Third, dark red and purple grapes. The color is everything here. These varieties concentrate resveratrol in their skin, one of the most researched substances in aging science. For your kidneys, resveratrol reduces inflammation and helps your vessel walls become more flexible and expand, which is precisely what you need as your body gets ready for the nighttime pressure drop. More relaxed vessels mean lower overnight pressure. Lower overnight pressure means reduced stress on your filters. Red grapes also contain a modest natural amount of melatonin, the same compound your brain releases to trigger sleep. A fruit that promotes deeper sleep also helps your blood pressure reach its complete nighttime reduction. Better rest and lower nighttime pressure go together. Grapes are sweeter than berries, so quantity counts. Around 10 to 15 grapes in the evening, consumed whole with the skin intact. Try freezing them. They take longer to eat, feel indulgent, and distance you from desserts. Fourth, the apple. It shields your kidneys through a route almost nobody considers, your digestive tract. Apples are among the most abundant sources of a fiber called pectin. When pectin enters your gut, it nourishes beneficial bacteria, A properly nourished digestive system generates far less inflammatory activity in your blood. Your kidneys filter everything in that blood. A perpetually inflamed gut produces constant low-level stress on them. The apple improves conditions at the beginning of that pathway. Scientists call this the gut-kidney connection, and it's among the most active areas of current kidney research. Apple skin contains quercetin, an antioxidant shown to protect blood vessel walls. Remove the skin and you eliminate most of that benefit, so consume it entirely. Like blueberries, apples contain minimal potassium. A medium-sized apple in the evening, sliced and dusted with natural cinnamon, is optimal. Eat it approximately 60 minutes before sleep, so the fiber can perform its job. Every fruit discussed so far performs identical quiet work, reducing cellular stress and relieving filter strain. The next 4 perform something genuinely different, including one that accomplishes something for your kidneys nothing else here can manage, plus the one most people have been cautioned against entirely. Before continuing, I'd appreciate something. If you're learning for the first time why your kidneys require dedicated evening support, rather than simply hearing to consume more water and reduce salt, take 30 seconds to subscribe and share this with your network. If anyone you know manages blood pressure issues or diabetes, the 2 primary causes of kidney damage, forward this to them. This discussion typically gets skipped during brief medical appointments. 5th, tart cherries. This is the genuine revelation because tart cherries accomplish something for your kidneys that none of the other options can match. Don't confuse these with sweet varieties, they're completely different. Tart cherries support your kidneys for one specific purpose. Uric acid represents a waste product your kidneys must process daily, and when levels get too elevated, significant deterioration occurs. It produces the crystals that cause gout. It's a primary culprit in kidney stone formation, and elevated uric acid is now recognized as a factor in accelerated kidney decline. Tart cherries have demonstrated the capacity to reduce uric acid in the bloodstream. That's direct support for your filtering organ. Additionally, tart cherries rank among the most abundant natural sources of melatonin in any food. That identical melatonin supporting your sleep helps your blood pressure achieve the complete overnight reduction your kidney filters depend on. Decreased uric acid and enhanced sleep quality from one small fruit before rest. Use unsweetened dried tart cherries or diluted pure tart cherry juice approximately 60 minutes before sleep. Anything labeled cherry flavoring or cherry cocktail is just sweetened liquid. Obtain the genuinely unsweetened version to receive the actual benefits. 6th, strawberries. They deserve inclusion for the same reasoning as blueberries, plus certain extra advantages. Strawberries pack concentrated antioxidants, including ellagic acid and substantial vitamin C. These substances directly target cellular stress, degrading your filters. They're genuinely anti-inflammatory. Long-term minor inflammation represents one of the driving forces pushing kidney disease forward year after year. Strawberries are predominantly water and fiber, with minimal sugar, making them among the lightest evening foods. You receive genuine antioxidant protection without elevated blood sugar and without remaining heavy while you sleep. Around half a cup to 1 cup of fresh strawberries in the evening, either alone or accompanied by unsweetened yogurt. It's simple, light, and exactly the support your filters need heading into their recovery period. 7th, pineapple. Almost nobody suggests this one for kidneys, yet it carries something no other fruit provides. Pineapple is the sole common fruit containing a naturally occurring enzyme called bromelain, which is a legitimate anti-inflammatory. It reduces the persistent minor inflammation, gradually destroying kidney filters, and it decreases digestive strain, meaning reduced metabolic activity reaching your kidneys overnight. In addition to bromelain, pineapple provides vitamin C and more antioxidants from the protective family we repeatedly reference. Pineapple is surprisingly lower in potassium than most assume for something so sweet and tropical, making it relatively friendly for overtaxed kidneys. The trade-off is sugar content, so portion size matters. Around half a cup of fresh chunks in the evening is suitable. Fresh or frozen far exceeds canned pineapple, which typically sits in heavy syrup that eliminates the entire advantage. Eighth, this is the surprise I mentioned earlier: citrus fruit, oranges, and their family. The fruit many individuals with kidney concerns have been told to completely avoid. I want to provide both perspectives with complete honesty. The protective aspect is significant. Citrus contains abundant citrate. When citrate moves through your kidneys, it attaches to calcium in your urine and prevents crystallization into stones. Citrate functions as your body's natural defense against kidney stones, and citrus replenishes it. Beyond that, oranges contain substantial vitamin C and antioxidant compounds. For someone with healthy kidneys and kidney stone history, citrus can offer genuine protection. So what's the concern? Citrus is potassium-rich. For healthy kidneys, this presents no problem. Healthy kidneys eliminate excess potassium efficiently, and potassium actually helps bring blood pressure down. However, for kidneys already deteriorating in advanced chronic kidney disease stages or requiring dialysis, those kidneys cannot process potassium rapidly enough, and it accumulates to dangerous concentrations. Here's the guideline. If you carry a kidney disease diagnosis or consume medication affecting potassium management, discuss whether citrus is appropriate with your physician before adding it. For the majority of people here, citrus represents a sound choice. For others, it's precisely incorrect. Only your personal laboratory results determine which category includes you. Before the recipe, I need to establish something important. These fruits enhance healthy kidneys and kidneys experiencing mild stress. They don't constitute treatment for severely compromised kidneys. If you experience leg swelling or facial puffiness, urine appearing foamy, blood in your urine, dramatically decreased output, or sharp pain below your ribs, contact your physician immediately. If you carry a kidney disease diagnosis or take blood pressure or potassium-related medication, discuss these fruits with your healthcare provider first. Food supplies the foundation. It comprises only part of the structure. Let me tell you about a patient named Marcus. He was 69, worked in finance before retiring, participated in weekly tennis, and figured his health remained solid. His laboratory tests revealed something different. His eGFR had dipped just past the threshold requiring close monitoring, and his creatinine had quietly increased. He was shocked. No diabetes, minimal alcohol, and he'd believed kidney trouble happened to people who neglected themselves. We didn't start with medication. We started with his bedtime habits. Marcus concluded each night with salted crackers and cola while watching the news. That combination delivered sodium and sugar precisely when his kidneys required their recovery period. We made changes. Certain nights brought blueberries and sliced strawberries. Other evenings featured an apple with cinnamon or unsweetened tart cherries approximately an hour before sleep. He maintained oranges during morning meals after confirming his potassium remained within acceptable limits, and he incorporated a brief walk following dinner to bring his blood pressure down before sleep. 12 months later, his eGFR remained stable. It didn't improve because kidneys cannot rebuild lost function, and I want to be truthful about that, but it stopped declining. His blood pressure showed improvement he hadn't seen in a decade. For a 69-year-old kidney, maintaining current function represents genuine success. Now for the bonus, the straightforward 2-minute bedtime recipe combining the most beneficial fruits into a single drink. I refer to it as the nighttime kidney blend, and preparation takes just 2 minutes. Pour a small handful of blueberries, roughly a quarter cup, into a blender. Include 4 or 5 sliced strawberries. Add a splash of pure, unsweetened cranberry or tart cherry juice for urinary and uric acid support. Include approximately half a cup of plain, unsweetened kefir or yogurt, which supplies probiotics for that gut-kidney relationship, plus a little water for consistency. Finish with a shake of authentic cinnamon. Blend until smooth. It contains minimal sugar, minimal potassium, concentrated antioxidants your kidneys require overnight, and gives you something nourishing to consume before bed that strengthens your filters instead of working against them. Consume it around 60 minutes before sleep. A couple of variations prevent repetition. On evenings wanting sweetness, add a handful of frozen red grapes before blending. If your digestion is delicate, skip the kefir and use water with the berries. If you'd rather not use a blender, a small bowl of blueberries and strawberries with a spoon of unsweetened yogurt delivers identical core benefits. The mechanism isn't the blender itself, it's the substitution, exchanging late-night salt and processed foods with whole fruit. I excluded citrus from the recipe specifically because of the potassium consideration already explained. If your kidneys function normally and you've received clearance, incorporate citrus during daytime meals as a separate choice. Here's precisely what to do beginning tonight. 5 actions. 1. Close your kitchen earlier. Make your final food one of these fruits instead of something salty or processed, so your kidneys start their recovery period with reduced workload. 2. Locate one low-potassium fruit currently in your home, blueberries, strawberries, or an apple. Consume a modest portion approximately 60 minutes before bed. 3. If you want maximum benefit, prepare the nighttime kidney blend using blueberries, strawberries, a splash of cranberry or tart cherry, unsweetened kefir, and cinnamon. 4. Include a 10-minute walk after your evening meal. This helps reduce blood pressure before your overnight window begins, and blood pressure represents the strongest influence you control over kidney health. 5. If you carry a kidney disease diagnosis or consume blood pressure or potassium medication, write down a single question for your healthcare provider this week. Which fruits align with my current potassium measurements? That individual question identifies precisely which items from this list work for you. Consuming appropriate fruit in the evening represents one lever, but another one most people over 60 have never investigated. A single measurement on a typical blood panel that silently signals kidney problems years before your creatinine shifts. Most physicians won't mention it unless you ask directly. In my next video, I'll explain what that marker is, how to request it specifically, and how to respond if yours is moving the wrong direction.